Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Brokers Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Chauskas. Today's the 5th of June 2018. So welcome everyone. Welcome to this session. Today we're gonna have a look at what's happening with the markets, what levels to watch out for, the usual stuff, guys. Before we jump in, quickly let's have a read through our risk disclaimer. So the content of this webinar does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Also, a very quick reminder of our JFD Brokers research page, which we update on a daily basis. We throw out different trading shoutouts, different technical analysis. We update the news as well, and yeah, especially we throw out our daily analysis every morning, which you can check out. And I think you can find it useful as well, of course, and analysis in different other languages. So yeah, feel free to check us out, guys. But for now, let's have a look at the chart. So the first one I want to start looking at is the FTSE 100. Now, this is looking at the bigger picture here, and we can see that so we've broken last week we've broken the upwards moving trend line here. So the sentiment kind of turned more to the bearish side, and certainly today we're in this negative zone. We had a bit of a correction here, but now, like I said, we're seeing this slide today to the downside. We're currently testing this level right here at around 7,700, approximately 7,700. Yep, the level that I'm keeping an eye on is the 7690. So if we do get a close below the 7690, then this is not really looking good for the index, and we could expect seeing this one moving maybe a little bit lower here. The next potential level to watch out for would be the 7610, which was approximately the low of last week. So yeah, I mean, guys, it's an interesting spot right now. Certainly it's balancing around this 21 EMA as well. If we see a move higher here, if we see a push higher towards this level, right here, the 7795, this, just to remind you, this was approximately the high here that we had in January. So if we do get a nice break above this level, and especially a close above this level, then we could expect this one to move a little bit higher. Certainly maybe even actually going as high as the recent highs that we had in May here at around 7,903, approximately there. But for now, of course, just judging by this picture that's building up right now, it's not looking good for the FTSE. Of course, we will continue observing this one. Let's see if it makes its way towards this level right here, the 7610. And if we do get a break, well, we could expect maybe even lower, bigger declines here to lower levels. So for now, keep an eye on the 7690. Let's see what it wants to do with that level. Looking at the DAX, DAX is looking slightly better than the FTSE today. So we've managed to break through the 12,830 level that I was talking about. We're slightly above it right now. Certainly, if I just zoom in here, we just managed to pierce slightly through the 21 EMA, but then actually you can see that the index retraced back down. The question here is, of course, are we going to stay above this level or below? Certainly, if we're going to stay above, there is some potential for this one to move a little bit higher, maybe even towards the psychological 13,000 again for a quick test. But for that, for this 13,000, for us to see a hit of that 13,000, we would need to see a nice move above the 21 EMA here, shown as the yellow line. But for now, we can see that it managed to test that line, but actually moved back down below it. So for now, stay sharp, be careful. If we suddenly get a reversal back down here and a move below the 200 EMA, well, stay sharp, like I said, because we could end up testing this 12,600 level again, that acted as a good level of support last week. So I mean, if that doesn't hold well, I mean, it could open the path towards lower levels. So for now, be very careful here, because like I said, it's very tricky right now. It already kind of broke out of this rising channel that we were for quite a while in. I mean, we broke it to the downside. We can see it here, and we were moving lower. So we could maybe see this move up here as a maybe slight correction here to the upside before we turn down again. So, but for now, like I said, let's not over speculate here. Let's just see what it wants to do with this level first, with the 12,830. Let's quickly touch on gold, and gold is at an interesting spot, being slightly annoying, of course. Probably those who are trading gold will probably understand. It cannot really determine on the direction yet, so we continue to monitor it. We're just, let's say, staying away from it right now. We continue to monitor this 1290 level. 1290 is being a nice area of support right now. Also, not to mention this upwards moving trend line here that has been running since around December time 2016. So currently we can see that the commodity is balancing just slightly above it. Let's see what it wants to do with this trend line. I mean, because we do have another one here, the downwards moving resistance line, which keeps on holding this commodity to the downside. So of course we're getting to a spot here where this commodity won't be able to stick around for too long. It will have to show us, and will have to give us some sort of a move here, either to the upside or to the downside. If we move higher here, keep an eye on this 1307. I mean, it acted as a good level of resistance in the past. So if we do get a break here above, well, we could end up pushing higher here, maybe even towards the 1326. But for now, it's, like I said, it's being slightly annoying. It's not doing much, and well, it's probably just wants us to continue observing it. Let's quickly have a look at the US oil, so WTI, and well, I mean, a couple of videos ago, let's say a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about this break right here, and eventually that break happened, and we made a nice move to the downside. We've managed to test this upwards moving trend line here, which was running from August, end of August 2017, and now we can see that, well, we've broken this trend line on Friday. We've broken this trend line to the downside, and now we're pushing lower. So the question is, of course, how long are we going to go? And like we can see that we're kind of slowly taking out all these like key levels of support, these potential key levels of support. So currently we're testing this one right here, this at the 64.10 mark. Of course, if we do get a break here, and especially a close below this 64.10, we could end up pushing a little bit lower. The question here is, of course, how low, and the next potential level that we're keeping an eye on is the 6190 mark, approximately there. So the 6190 mark, again, if that doesn't hold, well, we could end up moving towards this 200 EMA here, shown as the black line, for a quick test. We can see that in the past this line was acting as a magnet, and the price was kind of getting to that line in the past. So I mean, if this fall will continue, there is some potential for WTI to touch this 200 EMA. But for now, of course, let's not rush into it. Let's see what it wants to do with the 64.10 level first, if it wants to break it or not. For us to become more bullish on this one, we would need to see a nice move back above the 65.55 mark, and especially back above this long-term upwards moving trend line. If we do get a move back above it, well, the downside could be off the table for now. Let's quickly touch on a few pairs. Well, actually, the BTC USD, if you want to class that as a pair, and we can see that right now it's not doing much. Let's say like that. Well, first of all, by the way, guys, I do apologize for the external noises here. In the office, we're having a bit of renovations. But anyway, I hope it doesn't distract you too much. But like I said, coming back to the Bitcoin, certainly, like I said, we can see that we've broken this little short-term resistance line, downwards moving resistance line, and now we're currently kind of slightly balancing above it. Of course, we are still bullish on this one, and in the longer term, because until we haven't broken this upwards moving trend line here, this kind of flattish upwards moving trend line, we're going to remain bullish on this one, and we're going to be aiming for higher levels. Ideally, it would be, I mean, probably, you know, ideally it would be nice to see the 10,000 getting hit again, but like I said, I mean, I've mentioned this before, the markets never do what we want them to do. So so let's just be careful here, just keep an eye on these levels, and certainly if we start making a move towards this area right here, approximately around the 8,600, if we start seeing breaks above that, then, well, there could be a potential for this one to move towards the 10,000 mark again. But for now, let's, like I said, not rush into it. Let's see what it wants to do with this kind of flattish upwards moving trend line first. Let's quickly have a look at the euro dollar, and euro dollar is retracing here to the downside. We're still keeping an eye on this level right here at around this 116,500. Certainly if it breaks it to the downside and closes below that level, well, we could see another move and another test of this upwards moving, this long-term upwards moving trend line that has been running since January 2017. So we could end up seeing a test of that line again, but that's only if we get a nice break below the 116,500. On the upside, we're going to be more bullish if we're going to see a nice break above the 117,500, and especially a close above the 117,500. So for now, we're just observing this I would say like 100 pip range. Let's see which side it's going to break to. Quickly, let's have a look at Aussie dollar, and Aussie dollar is retracing a little bit down to the downside here. We're seeing that it's finding its support here at the 50 EMA, shown here as the red line, and certainly, of course, it's very well, it's an interesting one right now. Initially, it seemed that it wants to kind of go and touch this this upwards moving trend line that it broke on the around mid-April here, and it seems that it wants to go and touch it again from underneath, or maybe actually break it to the upside. But we can see that it's retracing right now. Certainly, for we're staying very cautious, and to be honest, we're still looking at this one as a bullish scenario, because we're still above this upwards moving short-term upwards moving support line. Until that is broken to the downside, we're going to remain bullish on this pair. And quickly, let's have a look at the one more pair. So let's have a look at USD CAD now. So USD CAD having a nice pop here today to the upside, bouncing off this upper side of the triangle. I was talking about this pair this morning and actually yesterday as well. So we can see that we're getting a nice bump push here to the upside. We're currently testing the psychological 130 level. Of course, all eyes are on this level today because we want to see if it's going to close above it or below. If it's going to close above this one, psychological 130, I mean, there could be strong potential for this one to go and touch the 130,500 again, a break of which could open the path towards this high right here that we had in March this year. So the 131,250 approximately there, but we'll only consider that level if we get a nice break above the 130,500. On the downside, we would need to see a total reversal here to the downside and a move back inside this triangle formation in order to kind of become more bearish on this one. But for now, like I said, the pair is looking more bullish than bearish, so I would probably recommend to keep an eye on it. If we'll start breaking the 130, keep an eye on this 130,500, because this could open the path. If we do get a break above this, this could open the path towards these previous higher levels. So okay guys, that's gonna be it for today. I hope you found it useful. If you want to join me tomorrow morning at my Traders Espresso at 6 o'clock GMT time, 7 o'clock British Summer Time, And yeah, guys, I mean, I hope you have a good US session, and the ones who want to join me tomorrow, as I said, feel free. I mean, I will be happy to see you there, and thank you very much, guys, for listening. Bye bye.